On Osrc News at 7, work resumes on Oda Road dualization as residents long for project completion. Rufus-Giwa Polytechnic matriculates over 3,000 students, once against social vices. Senior lawyer Femi Falana faults detention of rights activist Jalingo for alleged defamation. From the foreign scene, African Union urges support for Burkina Faso's transition. Good evening and thanks for joining me on the news. In furtherance of Ondo government's commitment to completing ongoing projects for the benefit of residents, construction work has resumed on the 8-kilometer ShopRite Oda Road project in Akure, the state capital. The resumption of work on the dualization project, which witnessed a momentary break, is heartwarming for residents who are expectant of its completion in no distant time. Osrc's Zaid Aribisala has an update.
The construction of the 8 kilometers road from ShopRite Junction to Oda Town is one of the landmark infrastructure projects embarked on by Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu's administration. The road construction, which has been carried out in phases, involved a deliberate need to meet standard specification to pass the test of time. After a momentary break in action, construction work has resumed on the dual carriage project. Continuing from the last stopping point around the neuropsychiatric hospital, asphalt overlay is being done.
We resume work immediately after the heavy rains, as we are experiencing an August break. So we've started the work from Psychiatric Hospital towards the end of the project. Presently, we are doing asphalt work of about 1 kilometer route, starting from Psychiatric Hospital, and it will stop. The asphalt work will stop at Kajola Junction and continue the work from that place again, with primary with MC1 bitumen, followed by the same work.
Residents of the area who are looking forward to the project completion noted that the attendant benefits will lead to economic growth in the area.
Now it's better because before nobody can enter this place. And the road now is very clear and pure. As our governor is doing, it's very fine.
I'm only that mechanic every day by day, time to time. But now that's your government small transport washira at the color war.
Ìgbà tí wọ́n ti ṣe ọ̀nà yìí ní last year tó yẹ pé ó ṣì wà ní under construction lọ́wọ́. In fact, ojú ọ̀nà ẹ̀ àwa ta ní ṣọ́ọ̀bù síbi àráyè ṣiṣẹ́ dọ́ọ̀sì máa ń wọ gbogbo inú ṣọ́ọ̀bù ní tó yẹ pé àpá ṣọ́ọ̀bù dé tọ̀nà ẹ̀ ń sìn báyìí tán tí wọ́n bá wa da ọ̀dà yẹn. Ìgbà yẹn ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ń rí iṣẹ́ ṣe dáadáa ń sì fẹ́ pé in fact èèyàn lè jòkó sí ṣọ́ọ̀bù ń sìn tó yẹ pé á ṣiṣẹ́ dáadáa ọkàn á balẹ̀. In fact gbogbo àwọn èèyàn gan sì báyìí wọ́n ti ń try láti máa padà wá lára àwọn tó yẹ pé wọ́n ti lọ tẹ́lẹ̀.
Students used to have accidents very well, and now when they've done it, the road is actually good and it's okay, and the accidents, the percent of the accident, the rate of the accident has reduced.
On different occasions, Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu pledged to ensure the completion of all ongoing road projects, and with that, it's only a matter of time before the entire length of the project is asphalted. Zaid Aribisala, Osrc News.
The suspension of admissions in Nigerian universities has led to the failure of the universities to process a total of 461,745 admissions. The Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board, in the statistics provided for Newsmen, blamed the strike by the Academic Staff Union of Universities for the development. It was gathered that a total of 36,947 candidates of the 2021 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examinations processed their admissions in private institutions. Strike actions by university-based unions such as ASU, Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, Non-Academic Staff Union of Universities, and other allied institutions have continued to cripple academic activities in federal and state universities. Meanwhile, the Senior Association of Nigeria Universities and the Non-Academic Staff Union of Allied and Education Institutions have announced the suspension of their ongoing strike for a period of 2 months. SANU's national president, Mohammed Ibrahim, made a disclosure in an interview. Like the Academic Staff Union of Universities, SANU and NASU had also embarked on strike. The unions had called for the renegotiation of the 2009 agreement payment of earned allowances, usurpation of non-academic career positions by vice-chancellors, the inclusion of university staff school into the university community, non-payment of minimum wage arrears, and funding of state universities. Still on education, new students admitted into the 2021-2022 academic session of the Rufus Giwa Polytechnic Award have been advised to focus on their studies and shun vices that would hinder them from attaining their future ambitions. The rector, Mr. Gani Ogundaunsi, gave the charge during the 29th matriculation ceremony of the Citadel of Learning in our local government area of Ondo State. Joy Pius reports that over 3,000 students were admitted and participated in the ceremony. The new students were adorned for the 29th matriculation ceremony of the Rufus Giwa Polytechnic Award, signaling the commencement of 2021-2022 academic session. The rector, Mr. Gani Ogundaunsi, reiterated the position of our institution in breeding students to become better citizens, while acknowledging Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu's strides in the institution. Mr. Ogundaunsi noted that the efforts of the present administration have positioned the Polytechnic as one of the most thriving polytechnics in Nigeria. The rector charged the new students to study hard and shun examination misconduct and other defiant practices that could lead to their dismissal from school.
I reminded that being a student does not give you a blank check to indulge in unlawful acts. While the character of the host community were expected to be law-abiding and pay attention, be informed that the management of the institution has a zero level tolerance for cultism and other forms of misconduct, such as examination malpractice, stealing, unauthorized protest, disrespect to constituted authorities, etc., etc. You are therefore advised to conduct yourself properly at all times, so that you will be found worthy in both planning and character at the end of your program.
Ondo State JAMB coordinator Mr. Olubenga Akintola expressed satisfaction at the UTME results for this year, charging students to strive harder.
The admission of the students starts after the conduct of a JAMB exam, and the school we admit. We present their names to JAMB, and then we admit them. By the record of this year, the performance this year is quite impressive, and we hope that it will continue like that. The institutions, they cannot give admission to all the candidates that sit for JAMB, but the ones that excel is the one that are admitted into the institutions. So they should work harder to make sure that they perform very well in their JAMB examinations.
Some of the matriculating students promised to give their best towards attaining their dreams.
I'm very grateful, and I feel excited because this is my first time of being a matriculated student. It's been a long while since I graduated from Calvary Comprehensive College at Tunde, but it's a privilege.
I promise to obey all the rules, to attend all my lectures, and be a good girl.
The over 3,000 students who took the matriculation oaths are taking part in different academic fields of study in the Polytechnic. Joy Pius, OSRC News. Rosewood International School in Akure has held its end-of-year activity and graduation ceremony for the 2021-2022 academic session. The celebration is the second since the establishment of the school in 2020. OSRC reporter Zimo Ebieme reports that the school administration has assured parents of effective study skills and moral standing for pupils.
It was an exceptional day for the pupils of Rosewood International School, Akure, as graduating pupils from kindergarten to nursery and primary school, wowed their parents and guests with their performances. The administrator of the school, Mr. James Shaba, while appreciating the parents for their support since the establishment of the school, promised sound and quality education for the pupils.
Any of our pupils here can compete with any pupils anywhere in the world. And that is why we are international school.
Some of the parents who spoke with OSRC expressed confidence in the school authority to provide firm educational foundation for their children.
When we just started, it was like, when are we going to be plenty? But thank God today we are much. It's really growing fast. Really thank the school. It's full of integrity and lots more that you will want your child to be.
Rosewood International School is the best school so far here in Ondo State. Their teachers, and the pupils, even the parents, we are very, very, very happy about this school because what they are teaching us to our pupils, we don't even get it in another school when they were going. But coming here, we have changed our pupils.
The pupils appreciated the school's administrators and the teachers for their patience and tolerance in nurturing them all through their years in school, and thanked them for being part of their journey and helping them grow.
My school is a citadel of learning. Our motto is knowledge and moral, a school with competent teachers.
The school also presented certificates and gifts to the pupils and students accordingly, from kindergarten through the primary section, while awards were presented to the graduating pupils.
Now take a short break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ag or follow us on Facebook, OSRC TV Ondo, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel, OSRC TV Ondo. As political campaigns and the 2023 general elections draw near in the face of festering insecurity in most parts of the country, the police have confirmed that there is a surge in the request for protection by politicians, with campaigns for presidential and National Assembly elections commencing on September 28 and the general elections starting on February 25. The police noted that more applications were being received and more still were being expected, but pointed out that not every application would be granted. The Force Public Relations Officer, CSP Muyiwa Adejobi, in an interview with journalists, explained that certain persons were by virtue of their statuses and personalities entitled to police protection, but that despite the spike in the request, the police would consider each application on its merits and continuously work towards general security for public safety. There have been public anxieties and apprehension over the rising kidnapping for ransom and killings in different parts of the country, fueling the demand for special police protection by politicians and the elite. The Osun State Police Command says it has arrested 5 people in connection with the attack on the convoy of wife of the state governor, Mrs. Kafayat Oyetola, at Owode Ede. Spokesperson of the command, Yemisi Okbalola, in a statement in Osogbo, said operatives were contacted about 8:30 p.m. on Friday that a convoy of Messrs. Oyetola had come under attack. It stated that one Omolola Okpeyemi of Ijebu Ode, a driver of one truck with a registration number, blocked the movement of the First Lady as a result of traffic blockage. The driver was reportedly wounded on his forehead, while some hoodlums took advantage of that and started stoning vehicles in the convoy that got one DSS personnel wounded and 5 suspects were arrested at the scene. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party in Osho State has accused the office of Messrs. Oyetola of attempt to cover up the conduct of her escort who allegedly beat up a truck driver at Owode, leading to public angry reactions against her entire convoy. A statement by the party spokesperson, Oladele Oluwabamiji, obtained in Oshogbo, stated that an eyewitness account has it that the affected truck had developed fault at the middle of the road, with the driver making efforts to get it to work. The party called on the governor's wife to apologize to the truck driver for the inhuman treatment. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana, SAN, has described the arrest of human rights activist Agba Jalingo as official impunity in a democratic society. In a statement, Falana demanded the unconditional release of the activist, noting that the offense of defamation he was accused of is not a criminal offense. Falana said the human rights activist claimed that he committed no offense, but that his newspaper, Cross River Watch, had only asked why a lecturer who wrote examinations for a student in the Nigerian Law School, Abuja, has been arraigned in court while the student is being treated like a sacred cow. The statement also claimed that police officers at the station Jalingo was detained corroborated his account and stated that the petitioner had alleged that Agba Jalingo had committed defamation and infringement of his integrity, which is not an offense under any provision of the criminal code. A former Labour leader in Delta, Mike Okeme, has faulted the recruitment of over 70 persons in the state by Governor Ifeanyi Okowa's administration, describing it as illegal recruitment. Okeme, who disclosed this in Asaba, alleged that the Delta State Civil Service Commission did not follow due process in the recruitment. Okeme said there were laid down rules for recruitment of qualified persons, insisting that no responsible government would condone a situation where civil service rules were not adhered to by the leadership of the Delta State Civil Service Commission. He urged Governor Okowa to investigate the alleged illegal recruitment of over 70 persons into the state civil service in the last few months. The Nigerian Army has noted that the voluntary retirement of its personnel was not cursed by corruption or poor service conditions. The Army had recently approved the disengagement of a warrant officer and 242 others in various formations across the country. In a statement by the Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu, the Army cleared the air on the discharge of the soldiers, stating that voluntary retirement was a routine in the Army and not linked to low morale or corruption. From the foreign scene, an African Union envoy has urged international support for Burkina Faso's transition to civilian rule as the junta-led country battles a jihadist insurgency. Head of the AU's Peace and Security Council, Bankole Ajayi, during a visit to Ouagadougou, called for support of the international community in Burkina Faso to face all challenges, including in matters of security. Burkina's ruling junta took power in a January coup that ousted former President Roch-Marc Christian Kabore amid widespread anger at the government's failure to deal with the jihadist violence that spread across the border from Mali in 2015. The country's Western African neighbors have agreed to allow junta led by Lieutenant Colonel Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba 2 years for its transition back to democracy. The junta has proposed a constitutional referendum in December 2024 and legislative and presidential elections in February 2025. To end OSRC News at 7. Here again are some of the major stories. Work has resumed on 8-kilometer ShopRite Oda road dualization in Akure, the Ondo State capital. The move, government says, is in furtherance of its commitment to completing all ongoing projects in its lifespan, just as residents of the area are also eager to see the completion of the project. Over 3,000 new students have taken oath to be law-abiding as Rufus Giwa Polytechnic or will officially admit them to study courses of their choice. Rector of the institution, Gani Ogundausi, further charged the new students to shun all vices that can terminate the pursuit of their dreams in the school prematurely. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana SAN has faulted the arrest and detention of human rights activist Agba Jalingo, describing the development as an official impunity in a democracy. Falana, in a statement, said the alleged offense of Jalingo, that is defamation, is not a criminal matter that should have warranted his arrest and detention. And that's the news. Thanks so much for watching. Good evening.